All right, let me get this up. Then we will get this going. There we go. Create the announcement. And we are good. All right. Decent start. A decent start. I'm just going to approach here. The first couple of moves, like this probably loses like half a point and stuff, but realistically, the first couple of moves are all about your own preference on what you actually want, like really what you want to do, and it's really your own preference. There is a Joseki here. I don't actually know the exact Joseki though. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I don't know the sequence for this exact. Okay, he didn't play it. I was thinking he would play Q17. I would cut. He would go back. I would dig here, and there's a whole sequence on that. So he didn't do that. This is also kind of a little strange because that's okay for the most part. That does leave this later on. So what we're going to do is actually approach over here. It's probably a little. It's probably risky. It's probably pretty risky just leaving this here. But I think it's okay because S8. You always have S18. And if he plays that, you can just go elsewhere. Also, you have the option of playing here as well. There's a couple of options here. You can extend downward. You can connect. Those are the two options here. That's not generally very. I mean, it's about the same as the other one. That's too small right now. This is decent, but this is bigger. I there's a good argument you can make that I should pincer here. Here, you just block and get the corner. I'm very happy with blocking and get the corner. I feel like I should play this, just because I have this over here. It would allow him to cut down, though. I don't know about that one. So I think you can extend on this side. Yeah, this one isn't as good if you do this because I can do this first and now you're kind of screwed. You have to extend over here. Because if I do this, then you don't really have a way out of this. That's the worst possible because I think this is dead. I'm actually sure that's dead. So obviously that's the worst possible solution. But that is a Joseki. Like, black plays here, white over here, black extends, white extends. I think black extends over here. Obviously, you just kind of attack these. You already got this corner, so you kind of make threatening moves towards these two. And you're not really worried because you can always come here or even just do this for that. That's a really bad move because it gets rid of the. It's not a good move because it tightens your liberties. I'm not really going to answer that one. I'm just going to play here. I know a lot of you would actually like answer and play and protect this territory, but there's not that much territory down here to protect. First of all, so there's no need to do that. Just securing the corner is way bigger. I mean, like, when I was a lower rank, I used to be obsessed with like getting like one big piece of territory. But as you go up in rank, you realize that like two smaller pieces of territory are a lot of times bigger than that one big piece of territory that, people like kind of obsess on. So those are just kind of like things you learn as you go along, more or less. I don't think he can Atari this way because I can just kill him this way if he does. That's not. I guess that's not really a problem. Okay, that I'm gonna Hane this. And double Hane that. I think that's the wrong way to Atari. This is still not that strong, and you gave me some territory here. This is all dead, remember? S11 now actually becomes pretty big. I don't think it's that big, though, because I can just do S10 if he plays S11. If you look at the state of the game right now, I've got a lot of solid territory. That's not useful. This group is not under any kind of real threat. So I'm going to play somewhere else. I don't really know where else I would actually play. Maybe, but I don't want to play that. I think I'm just going to play this. He only has 4 liberties here, so I'm not really under any real threat. In this case, that's not a good move by me, by the ways, but I can do something like this. And then take this route up. Now, if he gives me that, I'm fine with it too. I am perfectly fine if he actually gives me this territory. Territory is quite big, by the ways. This is actually probably the worst result he can get because it lets me have both these. Like, this is still pretty darn weak. It completely strengthens that one. Doesn't really help your cause and gets me some territory as well. The only real territory black has is here. And this cut is still a big problem for him. Such a big problem that I'm going to use it right now. You have to do that. So I'm going to do this first because that's points. Then extend this even further. So the thing is, I've gotten all this down here. I'm not going to answer that. It's not big enough right now. And his thickness isn't really worth anything over here. I can just jump up and basically negate the thickness that he's actually... Well, I mean, there's some problems with that, but not really. The thickness that he's built is not really useful because I can just do that. He can build the territory over here, but between what he's given up here, and I have some territory here, he's not going to ever be able to get enough to actually win. This is not... I guess he can do that, but I can... I'm not going to let him re-high on that. I'm going to connect this. This is a little bit risky for me to play. I don't think it's really that risky, though. Oh, yeah, it is risky for me to play. Ah, snap, I messed up. I screwed up. It's not that bad. It's best just to connect here. It's not that bad. I still like destroyed his influence over here, but I did sack some of the corner territory, unfortunately. Wasn't quite expecting that, I guess. Dang it. Alright, whatever, I'll play this way. I'll let him have those in exchange for the bottom territory, I guess. It's definitely not... it is most definitely not good for me. It's definitely not good for me. Well, I mean, this is a little different, I guess. If he lets me do this. He does get these 4, and this is like, you know, maybe like 20 points or so. But letting me commandeer the entire bottom, I don't think that was actually a good trade for him. Definitely going to have to do this now. Just to secure this group here. So, like, you might think that, like, giving up these 5, up these 5 is a big deal. The extension down is good. It actually takes away liberties from me, but he just doesn't have enough to actually compete here. And he still has to seal off this side. I don't think I'm going to answer that because it's not worth answering. And remember, like, if he does this, like, he only has... He still is missing this, and he has very limited number of liberties to actually fight with. So if you actually look at the totality of if you actually look at the totality of black right now, his only territory is really this. He's got a little bit here. But the thing is, like, he's lacking a lot of territory. He's just lacking territory at this point. I don't think that's a good move right now. I'm just gonna jump. I don't think that I'm not actually sure what to play in this situation, but like he is like completely lacking a totality of territory right now. Is that even a good move? That's risky. I could just lose everything here, but I think it's okay. Oh, whatever. He owes me a move here, which makes me not afraid. Because I can just take this afterwards. You just miscalculated that.
You have won.
All right, let's actually go back and review this game. Let's actually go back and review this game. So this move is okay. It's not my favorite move to start off the game, but this move is okay. It's not as good as one of the corner moves. White still has this option. They can still approach from this side. So I decided to, with a regular approach. So the Joseki I was talking about was actually this one, for those of you that haven't seen this. Like I said, I don't know the exact sequencing for this particular Joseki. And for some of you, it might look like white took a big loss, but it really isn't. It's okay for both white and black. That's the Joseki that I was talking about. Black would actually have to go here most likely. White can get the Hane on top, and that's I think that's how that kind of goes right now. And that's an equal Joseki. So the thing is, like, don't be afraid to play this. If he plays this, you can always just go with this Joseki. It's actually like one I've seen a couple times. I've messed it up multiple times in the past. I have messed it up multiple times in the past. But that is how a Joseki would actually go. This is the regular Joseki. This is fine. It's just expedited. It's fine. Oh, by the way, if black does this, you just ignore it. White does this, black does that, you just ignore him. You just go elsewhere. If he does this, you just keep on ignoring him. If he does this, then you just take this and you're still alive. So that's perfectly fine. I mean, if he takes another shot to take those two, then you just keep playing. You just keep pushing at advantage, and you basically play elsewhere. You know, that's perfectly fine. He does get some thickness, but at the same time, like, it's not worth giving up all these moves. So I don't be too afraid of letting him get this Hane. It's not really all that important. I mean, it's big, but like Senteis like right now are much bigger. So if you do this, it's actually black's advantage if white does this. So you would come on the outside, you go in, and the correct move, I mean, it is actually a pretty complicated kind of Joseki, but that's how it is. That's how it actually ends up. Yes, white does get the corner, but black kind of gets the side. So that's actually how you're supposed to play this particular Joseki. Obviously, like, playing this just gives white everything. This is, like I said, this is actually a really bad move. You don't want to do this. This liberty can be really, really important. As you guys just saw, like, the ending move I did basically happened because he pushed down and he didn't have one more liberty. So this is okay. You can either go, you can go here as well. This is the biggest move right now, but you can go here. I just kind of blocked down because I wanted this side. This is the right move. So I would probably just go ahead and play this. This is okay for white, but white's influence isn't all that great. Because now you can just like, come over here. So white, like, it's definitely not a great deal for white at this, like this. But he did actually play this wrong. Yes, this is the key move. Like, I know that move is there. I just didn't know like it was like I just didn't really know it was the right move. So I did this. You can't do this because then I would just do that. And yeah. If you connect here, then you're dead. And that's a huge loss for, that's actually a really, really big loss for black. So can't do that. You have to go back and then I have to extend. This trade is okay for black. It's not great for white. The influence doesn't really do anything. Hane, double Hane. And then this is really big, like I said. This is actually really big. Because closing down here lets white get this entire territory. So that's why that move is there. That move is not useful because, I mean, like, it lets white get this move, but you're not really threatening this group. So I just went here. That's fine. I think this is better here. There's actually no reason to actually come in. This is just better. J17 is going to be better than K17. This is just testing. You would definitely connect. I think I would actually, if I was white, I would actually play here at this point, just separate out these two. But the thing is, like, you can just play this and just connect. So it's not actually a good move for, it's actually not a very good move for white. But of course, this works for me because I get the territory. I mean, I actually don't think that's the, I don't think that's the right move in the first place. Yeah, this would definitely be better. Just like not give that move. So this would actually be better for me coming up here, but I think it ended up being the same. Curl down, does that, I take. He does that, I take. This doesn't benefit you because if I cut here, you still have a big problem. You still have a pretty big problem if I cut here. Remember, like L18 is Sente, and I get like more points here. So here you would definitely Hane, like absolutely 100% Hane. Because even like, if I do this, you're generally you're gonna be okay. Like, because you can connect here, force me to do that, and like that's a much better situation for black than what it was. So connecting here is a big loss. I'm gonna do that first, obviously. That's just taking advantage and then extend. This is not a good move right now. This stone is not very big. That's why it's not a good move right now. Your group here isn't under threat. This doesn't threaten me, so that's not a very good move. That's also not a very good move by me. I don't like, yeah, this is the biggest one because so when I do this, black, I mean, you could do this first, but you can also just threaten this way. My group here doesn't have two eyes. And you force me to basically like make two eyes here. So, and getting a little bit of territory for yourself. So that's why, that's how that should be played. I should have Atari'd this way. Maybe something like that. Because then if you do that, I can just curl bottom, I guess. I don't exactly know. I think like the way this turned out, it wasn't actually too bad. I should have done this. Let him do this and then go here. This isn't too bad. Like, it looks bad because black took this territory, but you kind of like destroyed all of black's influence here, and you still have the corner. So it's actually not too bad for white. Those are the kind of exchanges that you have to understand if you want to move up in rank. Like sometimes like, oh, I gave up the bottom territory, sure, but then like you just like the influence over here has been kind of shattered and he can't make that much more territory up here. Sometimes it's not too bad. So connect. I should have connected here. Just let him take. Here, same thing here. Like I just like this influence that he built here is kind of destroyed, and he can't actually make that much more territory here. That's obviously the right move. That I should have done that. I went ahead and connected here. The thing is, like, if he did this, I would actually be in a lot of trouble. Because now I would actually have to run this group. And then he could actually come over here and attack this group. That's actually the only way he can win this game right now, because he's behind by a lot. So because of the state of the game, you would definitely want to like try to pressure and attack this group. And I don't have that many ways to actually make two eyes. So you take the retreat. I'm going to Atari first, and then... Oh, I mean, I did this wrong. But I went ahead and came down here. So I think a lot of people would do this, but this is not good. This is not good. This is actually not good because this group would actually still be in danger. So the right, like some people might think like sacrificing 5 is not the right move, but you would definitely sacrifice the 5 right now. And this is the right move. Like this is actually the right move. I wouldn't actually bother. I don't think I would bother running this 5 right now, because if you do something like this, it's actually very hard for me to run without actually damaging other stuff. Like the cut is still here at all times, and there's really no way that I can actually rescue those 5 stones. So you definitely do not want to let me get this particular move. This move isn't really that useful. It doesn't really do anything. You would want to force here. Basically essentially force me to like kill this group and then attack this group. I mean, I guess you can't really attack this group because it's actually alive, but you want to get as many advantages of this group as possible. Because like right now, like you're really behind, so you want to get as many advantages as you can, and trying to attack this group a little bit is the best way. So obviously I'm going to do that. He does that. That's actually that's actually a decent move. This isn't, because you're putting this Atari in my mouth, and now you can't really threaten me anymore. This move isn't necessary. This group's not in danger, so this move's not necessary. I'm gonna claw on this first. This move's also not necessary. This stone's just not that big. Like before you answer here, you have to think like, is my group actually in danger? If my group is not actually in danger, why am I connecting this stone? Because it's really like 3 or 4 points. So you wouldn't do that right now. By doing this, you're actually letting me get all the important key points. And by getting all the important key points, I'm essentially you're just putting yourself more and more behind. Obviously, you need to do that. Here, I might do that. Well, actually, like for me, I probably wouldn't follow the AI's instruction. I would just probably do this just to secure it. That's basically what I would do right now. Of course, this lets me get this. And you have to do this. I would basically do that. And there's actually no fight here. So, and that's where the game ends. So I think like the main lesson of this game is actually trading. Like the trade I actually did over here. Because like I think a lot of lower ranked players would try to save these 5 stones. but that's actually wrong. Now, I screwed up with the trade. I should have traded much earlier than this, but like I eventually did not run these 5 stones. If I ran these 5 stones, there's a good chance I would have lost because he could have been able to kill the entire group. But the thing is, like, this ended up not being so bad for white. Yes, I sacrificed a lot of points here, but he had to sacrifice a lot of points in here. So like trading is good, is a key component of Go, and knowing like when to trade, what are preferential trades in terms of like trades of territory for influence and influence for territory, that gets more and more important as you move up the Q ranks into the Dan ranks. So that's going to be the lesson for today. Unfortunately, I don't actually have time to play another game today, so I will be back tomorrow and hopefully tomorrow, and I will see you guys later.